So hi, welcome to Good Noise Podcast. We're here with Z Berg. We're going to ask her some questions today. I'm going to start. What inspired you to start making music?
Wow, just go straight in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just hit him.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't actually. I was making a joke. What did you just say?
What inspired you to start making music?
That's a good question. I started making music so young that I was like one of those annoying kids that just would walk around singing before I really talked. So what inspired me to play music, only a baby's mind can tell you, you know?
Okay.
And I barely remember that baby.
All right.
Simple. All right, cool. Can you tell us a little bit about your writing process?
My writing process is kind of different every time. I think there's no real like one solid formula to write a song, but I find a lot of the time when I write songs, I kind of write every piece of it at once.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like I black out and wake up and I've written a song and I'm like, oh, why, hello, sir. It's fancy meeting you here. There is truly like some kind of just strange mystical part of it. And also I think I'm so emotionally stunted that I don't know how to talk about my feelings or really process or understand them. So it's only when I write songs that like the feelings that I've been suppressing in my subconscious come out, and I'm like, well, that is what was bothering you, young lady. Great job. Get a therapist.
All right. Felt that. Well, that's awesome. But so what artists are your biggest inspirations when you're writing music?
Kind of depends on the moment. I think for this record is a record I've been wanting to make since I was a little kid, basically. And Nico's Chelsea Girl had like a really huge effect on me as a kid. And I always kind of had this dream of making like a Nico and Nick Drake record of just like finger picking and strings and sort of lush string arrangements like Dusty Springfield and that kind of vibe, you know? So that was kind of a huge part of the influence in making this record. If you dive back into my back catalog, it's like every record I make sounds completely fucking different because I have quite eclectic music taste.
Okay.
So depending on, you know, how frisky I'm feeling at any given moment, you just never know what's going to come out.
All right.
Alright, makes sense. It's cool.
Is someone making dinner in the background?
That might
Whose
be my
is
mom.
that?
Yeah.
That's adorable. What's your mom's name?
Carrie.
Carrie?
Yeah.
That's my mom's name.
Oh
Bro.
my god.
How does she spell it normally though?
No, with an I.
Wow, interesting. My mom's name is spelled Cary, like because she's named after Cary Grant. She's a really cool lady. Our moms have the same name.
Yeah.
So
Dang.
Sick. Your mom
That's sick.
should like meet and have like a carry party or something.
a Cary party.
Yeah. I don't know,
They meet and we orchestrate dousing them with blood.
Yes.
Mhm.
A Cary party.
A
Yeah.
carry party. Sounds great. Sounds wonderful. So congrats on your album release. It is fantastic, honestly. How do you feel about the response to it so far?
So far people have been really they've been really nice to my face. And that's all I can really ask for. You never know what kind of shit people are talking behind my back. Probably a lot. But the response has been pretty overwhelmingly wonderful, which is nice to hear.
Well,
You know?
well, the positive part is good to hear, not the possible shit talking behind the back. That's
Yeah.
not good.
I just like to assume that's always happening because in my life, it generally is.
Okay, I get that. I
Yeah.
get that. Yeah. So what does the album title mean? Is there any deep meaning behind it?
Well, how old are you?
I'm 17. I think I connected the dots with Glory before this started. So
Do you guys still read Shakespeare in school?
yes.
No.
Good answer, sir. What the fuck, young lady? You don't read Shakespeare?
No, I read Sherlock. If that means
It's not even
no
close.
correlation, but that's what I read.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean it's a Hamlet pun.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Because I know what kids like, you know, Shakespeare references, like lame puns, or
Yeah.
sweeping orchestral music. You know, it's like what the kids are into these days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
of course.
Exactly. So Where was your headspace while writing the album?
All over the fucking map.
You've listened to it, right?
Yeah.
And like half of my social media presence is people just like DMing me like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not okay. Do I sound okay? Do I seem okay to you?" I actually did a podcast interview this morning that is going to be really, really interesting because I had just woken up and I was just so, because it wasn't video, it was like just audio. And so I really wasn't thinking about the fact that like we're recording all of this and you're going to use it. And I talked about my record for like 2 minutes, and the rest of the time I just talked about the show Fringe and about how I believe it's a documentary about 2020, and the only explanation for how bad things are that parallel universes are converging and creating holes in our reality. This went on for like 40 minutes, and then I spilled coffee on myself, and I told him I spilled coffee on myself, and I was like, hold on, I gotta go clean my shirt. Took my shirt off, I'm topless now. How's this interview going? And I'm like, this is all being recorded.
Oh my god.
This is going to be on the internet somewhere.
So the answer is no, I'm not fine.
Okay, so that's the headspace there. Not fine.
Not fine.
Sounds good.
Solid. Simple.
Yeah.
So on this record, what song took the longest to write, and what song is your favorite?
Fucking Sophie's Choice over here. Jesus. Well, it's interesting because the record, like these songs span 10 years.
Damn.
Because I've been in band since I was 15, and I started writing these songs when I was 20, and I never had like a chance. I never had time to make a solo record. I was just always in bands, and I went from band to band, and so I started writing these like so fucking long ago. So, you know, like the oldest song on this record is "Calm Before the Storm," which I wrote when I was 20.
Okay.
So it's interesting, something like that is written so long ago, but also just feels like I could have written it yesterday. Basically, this record is indicative of my complete lack of personal growth, that I've changed absolutely not even at all, and I've learned from none of my mistakes over the course of 10 years. So they all still really resonate, you know? So that's a plus.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I feel like more like I'm doing like stand-up instead of doing an interview.
It's okay, it works. It's
Yeah,
fine.
it's working.
It's
I don't know,
great.
you're answering the question somewhat.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, that's all that
I don't-
matters.
I don't think I've properly answered a single one of your questions, but
I
you
mean,
know
like,
what?
you've danced
It's
around
great.
it, so, like, it's better than some interviews we've had. So,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
are you able to answer what song is your favorite, though?
Oh, sorry. Right now, I think it always changes, you know, that is kind of what always happens with me. But right now I feel like Berg and I is my favorite child right now.
Oh.
Berg and I it's based on a Borges short story called Borges and I. And it's a beautiful and super psychedelic short story that you should look up if you haven't read it, which I assume you haven't, because they don't even fucking teach your asses Shakespeare anymore. God damn it. But it's kind of an examination of the self as self and the self as other, particularly as an artist and as the version of yourself that you create as the artist, and what he likes and who he is, and then this other sort of shadow person that follows you. But it's also about like getting fucking blackout wasted all the time and doing terrible things and being like, did I actually do this? Does this count? Am I a terrible person? Who exactly am I? So basically my whole record is about just like really base hedonistic tendencies, but through the guise of like purple prose and sweeping strings. So it makes it sound fancy when in fact I'm just talking about like getting fucked up in my 20s.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Are you guys going to be okay after this?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to be okay. Yeah.
Oh, what else you got?
Yeah,
Come
just
at
keep
me.
them at
A
her.
lot.
Way too
A
many.
lot. Oh, okay. So how did the collab with Ryan happen? Like, did you guys sit down and say, okay, let's write a Christmas song, or did you write it first and then just said, hey, I need another like vocal?
We did actually. I had the idea. I was like, let's fucking write a Christmas song. You know, it just seemed like it would be fun. It was around Christmas time, and I thought that it was a great idea for us to write a Christmas song because we had this really like traumatic Christmas-based experience together. And I thought instead of writing like a Merry Christmas, isn't it nice and snowy, that it would be nice to write like a Christmas trauma song, you know, because that's just
really
like
just
my
fuck up
personal
Christmas.
brand. Yeah. Christmas is over, nerds.
Yeah.
Fuck, is that gardener really loud? Is this terrible? They're coming
No.
for me.
That's all
Really?
good. I mean,
Yeah, I
my
don't
mom
hear
was
anything.
cooking in the background, so the gardener's fine.
I like how just like identifiable that sound was. It's like the sound of your mother cooking in the other room. It's just like so, it's so real. What the fuck were we talking about?
The collab with Ryan.
Oh, yes. So I kind of approached him with this idea where I was like, you know, I basically like shipped him out of the country on Christmas Eve to go get it together at some point. And I was like, what if we wrote a Christmas song about this? Because, you know, it was a really intense experience, and both of us were kind of in a bad place, and we, you know, we're kind of trying to take care of each other and get our lives back together. And the concept of turning that into a Christmas song was quite appealing to me. And so then I wrote, I kind of started it. I came with like the chorus and some of the verse, and then he wrote the second verse, and then he wrote the whole bridge, which is like where the bad list comes from. It's like fucking classic Bryro. I was like, I wrote all this shit, and then you come in here with a bad list? Fucking fine, dude. Dang. But yeah, it was a nice, kind of love writing with like an assignment in mind. I find it kind of a lot easier. So when I have an idea for something, it becomes a fun exercise to figure out how to actually execute it, you know?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So do you have a certain feeling that you want the listeners to have when they're listening to your album?
Despair, regret, existential dread, occasional panic, feeling of looking out the window in the pouring rain, wondering if your dad's ever going to come home. You know, that's the vibe.
All right.
Honestly, it's a funny time to put out a record because I can't tour and I can't play shows, and it's like really gnarly in that respect. But in another respect, this literally is the perfect album to listen to whilst quarantined because of a plague and like depressed about the end of the world, because that's kind of the general vibe of the record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god. Wow, that is perfect.
Yeah.
It never clicked, but it's perfect. So, how did you choose the opener and closers for the album? Like, did you write them to be the opener and closer, or did it just happen?
No, I always with the record, it's like it's its own experience once you finish recording all the songs to figure out how to assemble them. It is kind of a little puzzle to like create the proper journey. And I actually, the first version of this record had like 3 other songs on it that aren't on it, and the bad list wasn't on it, and the epilogue wasn't on it. And sort of right before I was going to put it out, I realized that I really wanted this record to feel very much like a cohesive world and have nothing that really took you out of it or like drew you out back into reality. So I kind of restructured the thing and then resequenced it, and it's all just, it's just like a little puzzle. And, you know, I kind of try every real combination. And then when it hits right, you're just like,
yeah.
I got it.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect. It fits very well. Okay, yeah, sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since shows can't be played right now, how are you planning on connecting with the fans during this crazy time? I know you did a live stream for the album, an album release show. So.
Yeah, honestly, you know, I've been prepping so much to like get my record out and make this, you know, I made this whole visual album and stuff. So it's been a tremendous amount of work doing that. And now that will be part of the next sort of phase to figure out, because it's hard because we're all a little sick of seeing fucking live streams from people's bedrooms. Like I don't care anymore, including me. Like, I don't want to look at myself in my bedroom. Like, look, this is my prison. This is my tiny prison. I was born in this room. I will die in this room. Help me, please.
Help me, please. It's a cry for help.
Oh my God. But yeah, so I think that, you know, honestly, it's really hard. It's really hard to not be able to play shows, particularly because my shows are such like immersive community building, like big enterprises.
Yeah,
that,
they're
like,
not even shows, they're proms.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's weird to have that like just utterly eradicated from my toolbox, you know? But so I'm just going to kind of continue to figure out, you know, new ways to engage and new ways to sort of keep this going. And I'm going to release each video from the whole visual album separately. And then I think I'm going to do something really fun, which is I have instrumentals of all of the songs, and the videos are basically karaoke videos because they have the lyrics. So I might release all the songs as instrumental, like karaoke videos, and then have a karaoke challenge so everyone can sing along and send in videos, because I think that would be really fun.
That's a lot of comedy
Cute.
for you right there. Hours of endless content.
You know, so many people who follow me play music and are like really, really good and send me these amazing videos of them singing my songs. And I'm just like, fucking, do you want my job? Take my job, please. Take my life.
Would you ever like collaborate with a fan?
Yeah, if they were sick.
Oh,
Okay.
I mean, good sick.
Yeah, not like
Yeah,
sick,
not like-
sick. Yeah.
yeah.
I
not
mean,
like
probably
Corona
also if
sick.
they were sick, but
yeah.
yeah. You know, the thing with me that's good to know is I am pretty much up for anything.
All right.
Anything, if it's a little bit weird, I will pretty much say yes to. A young fan asked me to dictate her paper on the history of human experimentation in the United States. It was like 10 pages long. And I was like, absolutely, yes, I will do this. Do not pay me. This is really funny. Please let me do this. And so I recorded a half an hour of me reading a high school term paper about human experimentation in the United States because I thought it was funny, and it was funny.
Wow.
It's iconic.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. So do you have any plans for shows when they come back? Like, do you have any that are scheduled or that you're looking at right now? Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's about the response I expected.
Do I have plans for the future? Lols. Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm getting progressively more and more just like pretty deeply doomsday. So you don't even want to get me started.
Okay, but what were the plans before the world ended? Are you able to tell us that?
I mean, we were supposed to have a huge record release show prom again this year, like right around now.
Okay.
So it's that was a little devastating because we were gonna do it at the same place as last year, which is like this amazing Italian men's club from the 60s called the Garibaldina Society that basically looks like The Shining.
Okay.
So we were going to do a big old thing, and then I had a bunch of interesting little concert ideas and was hoping to do an East Coast prom and Paris and London and just kind of take it everywhere and do the whole thing. But instead, I went to my room and then I never left.
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
My girlfriend was like, she's going to come on the East Coast, we're going. I'm like, okay. And then Corona hit, and I'm like, we're not going, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I know. I planned to spend this entire year traveling.
Okay. And then,
Aw.
yeah, that didn't happen. The world set on fire
Lol.
instead.
Yeah. So here we are.
Ouch. Okay. So I have a quick question. It isn't on the question list. I just thought of this. What made you choose to go like the one person's dead in the music video? Like in Bad List, you're dead, right?
I'm a sick person.
You're
There's
sick.
something wrong with me.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So
I've-
she's... Okay.
Yeah, I wish I could even explain that. Also, like, have you seen the Time Flies video where everyone's dead?
Yeah, I wanted to ask about that too. Like, what?
What's your obsession with dead people?
There's a pattern here.
How many people do you have locked in your closet?
No, what's up with that? Let's talk about that.
Uh-oh.
We're next.
Oh, shit.
Honestly, I have been when I was a little kid, I was just like, just obsessed with death. I've just always been obsessed with death. Like, it's just, death is my boy, you know?
Mhm.
And honestly, I think there's an aspect of it that is quite positive. That is like, the acceptance of death makes you much more aware of your life. And like, I actually recently told my parents this. I do this, like, I am really affectionate and really tell people that I love them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I constantly call my parents to tell them that I love them every time I think about the fact that they're going to die. I just told them that's why I'm always so nice to them, because I'm constantly paranoid about the fact that they're going to die, and so I must say I love you at all times.
Okay.
normal,
Yeah.
chill. But yeah, it's just like, it's the, you know, like what else is there but death? Life? Yeah, right. What's left of it?
You're locked in
Throw
your
it out
room
the
right
window.
now. I don't know.
Yeah, so I don't know what kind of answer that is, but it happened.
Okay.
It works,
Pretty
yeah.
much just I am not okay, and death is cool.
Yeah.
That's what I got from it.
Just
So when
always at your heels, you know?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so when you were able to play shows, do you have any pre-show rituals?
Not really. Not like normal superstitious fucking handshake chant shit. I kind of hate that garbage. But I do like a 40-minute vocal warm up and do my makeup, and that's kind of like my like centering moment, you know.
Okay.
And then after that, I'm just like, all right, let's get it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, simple.
Yeah.
Simple. So when shows were around and happening, what
This
were your
is
top-
so sad.
It really
When-
is.
When we used to have life, when shows used to exist.
When we used to go outside, what were your top 3 songs to perform?
to perform live.
Yeah.
I can't even fucking remember film shows. It's so dark. All Out of Tears, which is not on the record, is always a fun closer, because I always get everyone on stage and we all do the stomp clap together, and it's a whole vibe, you know.
Yeah.
And To Forget You is always fun live, because To Forget You literally is the only song that isn't just like truly tragic. Like it's like about longing and regret, but it's the only song I've ever written when I was in a moment of like madly in love.
Okay.
So every time I play that, it's like I'm right back there, and I get to feel that again for that moment. And it's like taking a pill, and like you are suddenly just right back there and you feel it, and then the song ends and you're like, yeah, I never actually really loved that guy. I was totally just like bamboozled by Paris. The next time I saw him, I was like, this guy's kind of a nerd. But for a moment, I get it, you know?
Yeah.
I get the
Yeah.
good stuff.
Makes sense.
And you have a third, because that was only 2.
Yeah.
Fucking come on, buddy.
One more.
You know what? I've been playing June Gloom, which is like off the Like record that I fucking wrote when I was 16. That I hadn't, played in fucking 10 years. And then the last couple of shows I've played it, and it's been really fun. Because it's a strange song that like really kind of holds a specific space for people. Like, I don't know. It's interesting to revisit that and go back to that moment. And it's also like fucking rock and distorted guitars, and it's really fun.
Ooh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So barring the world doesn't end, where do you see the project in the next 5 years?
Hell is wrong with you? What are you thinking making plans for the future? Honestly, I'm like, when does the fucking meteor come, dude? Like
Okay.
5 years from now, we're underwater, bro. What?
Bro.
Also, I realized that me on podcasts is like, I'm just a conspiracy theory podcast. Basically. That's like my vibe. Just like full doomsday. I honestly have no idea. I really would like to get out of America, because I think it's horrible here, and I don't think it can be saved, and I fucking hate it, and I want to move to Paris.
Okay.
So that's
All
first
right.
on my list.
Solid
Okay.
plan.
And then next on my list is just like try to become the head of like an apocalypse gang, so that I can
Okay.
protect myself, in the coming times, which I feel like I could do pretty easily. I feel like I could take over like an end of the world gang.
I can see that happening.
I'm also really strong.
Okay.
Very surprisingly strong.
All right.
So these are the things that I think about instead of where I want my career to be in 5 years. I'm
Yeah.
thinking about apocalypse gangs.
Okay. I mean,
All right.
good to be prepared.
I'm being
Yeah.
practical,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah, exactly. So in 5 years, you will be leading a Paris apocalyptic gang. Apocalyptic gang in Paris.
Babe, you fucking get it.
Bro,
Hell
if I
yeah.
ever go to Paris,
Sounds
please.
amazing.
It sounds great.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can join.
Yay! Thank you.
Damn,
Yeah.
Awesome. I can cook, so like, I'll do that. Yeah.
All right, excellent. Yes, everyone has a job.
All right.
Awesome. So for the last couple questions, we're actually going to shift away from music and go straight to death row. So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Oh, gluten-free. This is gonna be really fucking weird, and I apologize for my answer. Fucking gluten-free cheese pizza with jalapenos, cooked burnt to a fucking crisp.
Okay.
Watermelon Sour Patch Kids. Either a spicy margarita or a filthy vodka martini.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Solid.
I mean,
You like how easy it was for me to answer that question, as if I hadn't thought about this before. Ha!
Yeah, I'm not surprised. And the burnt to a crisp part, honestly, doesn't surprise me either.
It surprised me. Jesus Christ.
I like all my foods so burnt that like I have to tell waiters like fuck it up. Like make it so that other people wouldn't eat it.
Wow.
There's like a lot of things wrong with me. I can't explain to you why
Like
this
you go out
happened.
in public and they're like, "What? Does she need to go somewhere like that isn't here?" Okay.
Also, it's like I can't just talk to like strangers normally. So I literally like me talking to waiters is like, "No, you don't understand. Fuck me up." And they're like, "Lady, this is an Applebee's."
And they're like, and you're like, "But fuck it up," and they're like, "I can't."
How many times have you had to like send back an order because it wasn't burnt enough?
A lot.
A
Oh
lot.
my god.
Do they look at you like,
Yeah.
You're
not
their
great.
worst nightmare.
oh,
Yeah, honestly, mostly just because it's like it's so gross to everyone. I went through a period where I only drank Bloody Marys like as my
Wow.
drink all the time for like a year. And I would ask for so much Tabasco in them that 90% of the time they would give them to me for free because they're like, this is disgusting and there's something wrong with you. Please take this away from me and please do not come back to our bar.
Okay.
I can barely taste or smell, so I'm completely addicted to hot sauce.
Okay.
oh,
All right.
iconic.
Yeah. Iconic. She drinks it.
Yeah.
One word for it.
Yeah.
So, if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
One fictional world for a
Mhm.
week? Fuck. It's a very interesting question. God damn it. I'm thinking about all my favorite fictional worlds, and I'm like, they're dangerous.
I mean, it sounds like you survived, though.
Yeah.
It's true. I mean, right now, honestly, have either of you ever watched The Magicians?
My mom
I have
has.
not.
Oh, my mom has. Fucking classic. Well, it's fucking amazing, and I am obsessed with it. And I am obsessed with this. There's this character named Elliot, and I want him to be my best friend more than anything. And I basically want to be in that show, in that reality, just so I could be a best friend with him. That's what I want.
Okay.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
That's wholesome. Yeah.
Isn't it? It's kind of wholesome, right?
Yeah, it
That's
is.
the most wholesome
Shout
answer.
out to Hale Appleman. I'm obsessed with you. Yeah.
Yep, that's the most wholesome answer you've given the entire interview.
Yeah.
Well, I've set the bar pretty low.
Right. So I have the honor of asking the last question, and everybody we've spoken to has said it's the most important question. What is your favorite color?
Periwinkle.
Periwinkle. Ooh.
Oddly
that's a very nice
specific.
color.
You'll have to see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
That color.
are not all my answers oddly specific?
They're oddly fucked up. That's
Yeah.
what they are. So I don't think you can give me a fucked up answer for this one, but we're gonna see. As Glory said, that's all the questions we have for you today. Is there anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah. I would like to plug, actually, yes, my record is out. I mean, obviously they told you this shit, but you can buy the vinyl on my web store, which is thezberg.com, and it's really, really beautiful on vinyl. And I also sell some apocalypse supplies, like a mask with my finger tattoo
Ooh.
on the mouth. Because honestly, what is wrong with me? I don't even know. And a journal entitled Screaming into the Void that has all the lyrics printed in it, and then blank pages for you to write your own sad, sad songs in it. And also watch my visual album, which is on YouTube, because during quarantine, I made a video for every motherfucking song on my record because I haven't been able to leave my room. So somebody please watch it and let there be a reason that I did this. And join my fucking Paris gang in the apocalypse next year once I move, looking for recruits, probably women only, but we'll see.
All right.
All right.
Well, thank you for sitting down with us, and congrats on the album, of course.
Yes.
This has been Z Berg, and we're the Good Noise Podcast.